news and notes to the coaches and players for America's team, let us go inside the Stars on 105.3 The Fan.
Cowboys, Jets, Sunday, 9 a.m. pregame on this radio station, kickoff at noon. Bobby Belt will be there at the Meadowlands. Good morning, Metroplex. It's Shan and RJ here on your official home of America's team, 105.3 The Fan. You know, in the middle of the week, everyone just throws everyone on the injury report. And the other day, we were talking about 17 Cowboys on there. Bobby, tell us how cleaned up it is.
Well, it got worse. Literally, the only adjustment is, so when the injury report comes out, you'll see, teams like to highlight, if there's been a change in status or somebody's been added, you'll see it in bold. So you can quickly just open in the email when they send it out and look and go, all right, how much bold is here? And there was only one section that was bolded, and it was, we've added Marshawn Kneeland to the injury report as well, as he was limited yesterday. But otherwise, nothing changed. All the guys who didn't practice on Wednesday did not practice on Thursday. That includes your Pro Bowl guard, Tyler Smith, who was not available, and concussion protocol still for Tyler Guyton. So you are looking like, generally, if you miss the Thursday practice, if you miss the first two practices of the week, that is not a great sign that you're going to be able to play.
And Kneeland started over Sam last week, didn't he?
Yeah, Kneeland's been getting plenty of rotation in there, but he has something must have cropped up because he's got an ankle and was listed as a limited participant. He was able to practice a little bit, but it was not much.
Wanye Thomas will start at safety with Malik dealing with a toe injury. They don't know if Kenneth Murray with the knee is going to play. Over on the Jets side, Braylon Allen, he's going to be put on IR. Nick Harris is suggesting that it's Jaden Blue time. So now time for Jaden Blue to back up Javonte.
Should be. I mean, if you're talking about, you're going to be missing Turpin in all likelihood in this one as well. Blue is somebody who, all right, you've got a guy who can line up at receiver. He's done it before. He can line up in the backfield. He could return kicks. There's all these different things he can do that you would hope, all right, he can cover some of the loss of of Kevontae Turpin. Jalen Cropper, who's been on the practice squad, I kind of wonder if he might be called up this week too and get an opportunity, because he's somebody that I think they feel like can cover some of the bases there too.
And Miles is banged up, right?
Yep. Miles Sanders is probably going to miss this game.
Who's going to return the kicks?
That's a good question. I would assume that it could be somebody like Jaden Blue or Jalen Cropper, like one of those guys.
All right.
Because I mean, honestly, your guys have been.
Did Tolbert catch one the other day?
Tolbert has done it before, and he's been out there. But their top three returners throughout training camp, it was Turpin, Hurt, Sanders, and then it was Deuce Vaughn, who's no longer here.
Also, with the injury situation, do you really want to throw a receiver back there? Just throw somebody back there that I don't say you don't care if they get hurt,
right?
You don't need.
I mean, Wanye Thomas has done kick returns before, but again, you now have him in the starting lineup. You may feel like we can't afford to lose another safety.
That's the type of thing that costs you in games like this that you're supposed to win. You get a special teams blunder, a fumble, or a touch, or miscommunication. We've seen, for all the great hype over Bones Fossil, we saw a lot of bloopers from Cowboys special teams.
Yeah, so, the Jets, and we'll preview them a little bit more at 7:20, but the Jets looked good on special teams to me. They're a good kick coverage team.
Yesterday I was asking how a defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, decides to build the scheme around the players or vice versa, with Trevon Diggs going off and saying he wants to run more man coverage. Eberflus was asked about it yesterday.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
With it's been, in and out consistency-wise with the players. The guys have been hurt. Bland was down. Guys were coming back from injury, all those things, and it's nobody's fault, but that's what it's been. It's been some inconsistencies there in terms of having guys available, and you got to move your scheme based on what you have. And I think that's important for any coach to be able to do that. And certainly we got to do a better job in the pass game, but that's the reason for it.
Diggs yesterday said he had talked to you about maybe we should play a little bit more man. How do you take those kinds of conversations?
Yeah, and I value everybody's opinion, and that's important that you do that as a coach, and you listen, and that's important that you do that too. But we're growing as a group. There's an improvement, in the play, and we just got to keep growing as a group.
That's like when I'm just placating someone and I'm like, what do you think? And then my brain shuts off because I'm not listening to one word you say afterwards. And I say, thank you for that.
Yeah, it's very much the
Here's your sticker.
Yeah, it's very much, I see you and I hear you.
I don't think we hand out stickers.
We should have more. Yeah, it is very. It feels very. Yes, I value everyone's, but everyone is free to come talk to me and tell me. It doesn't mean I'm going to do anything about it.
You have the data to back up Eberflus, at least when it comes to Trevon.
Yeah, so I was trying to look, and I was like, okay, he wants to play. Trevon Diggs clearly wants to play in man coverage really bad, and so I was like, all right, we'll do the numbers show up and make it appear that he's been just as good there. So he is, throughout his career, been significantly better in zone coverage than he has in man. At least if you just want to look at things statistically.
Not this year.
No, this year too.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this year he's been better in zone. You're talking about he allows 10.1 yards per attempt in man coverage for his career versus 7.7 in zone. 14 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in man coverage. He's 5 touchdowns and 15 interceptions in zone for his career. The passer rating allowed is 110.3 in man. It's 59 in zone. And in man coverage, he's targeted 18% of the coverage snaps. In zone, he's targeted 13% of the time.
So this is to me, just thinking, this is a very similar thing to Micah with PFF.
I was going right there.
Because if you were to ask the general fan, the casual fan, even the non-casual fan, like, what do you remember of Trevon this year? You say, I remember seeing his back running after people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, the perception is that he is getting beat on everything, and he's playing catch-up.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
He's just getting beat worse in man.
Yeah.
None of the numbers that Bobby said were great to me.
If you take no, I mean zone the zone coverage is pretty good. I mean, if you're allowing a 59 passer rating, you've got 15 picks to 5 touchdowns allowed. Like that's now the only problem is assigning who has a touchdown in zone.
That is where I thought RJ was going with PFF. How do I judge Trevon's zone numbers? So covering areas.
I give it a little more credence than I would PFF on this one.
Who's this from?
Next Gen Stats. So this is the NFL's
Broadus' favorite site.
This is the NFL's tracking method. It's going to be a little more accurate naturally. It's still going to have its blind spots. Sure. I can tell you one thing for sure though. It's going to know with certainty if he got an interception in zone. The fact that he has 15 picks and about as many zone coverage attempts as he does versus the 5 interceptions. And in man coverage, like I said, even if you count, give him more touchdowns that he's given up in zone coverage. It's 14 that he's given up in man. In man coverage, these have been the passer ratings. If you don't include the 23 season where he got hurt 2 weeks in, these are the passer ratings he's allowed in man coverage throughout his career. 120.9, 83, 124.8, 114.7, and this year a perfect 158.3 passer rating.
Yeah, I was being a smart ass. I mean, you're right. Like, if the zone numbers are like that, that turns your brain around a little bit with the year he's been having. And then just in general, if you ask me, does Diggs have better numbers in man or zone? I would have thought man. I would have thought that season he had all the interceptions, was that more man?
Yeah,
with that scheme.
Now man coverage, he did that year. He had all those interceptions. He had 5 interceptions in man. He had 6 in zone. So he was really good. But he also
was good.
he gave up 4 touchdowns in man coverage that year.
Brandon Aubrey was named NFC Special Teams Player of the Month. 9 for 9 on his field goals, going 4 for 4 from 50 plus. And speaking of surprising and scrambling your football brain, RJ Choppy has all-pro teams.
So Sumer Sports, who we've had on, Thomas Dimitroff, Eric Eager at the Super Bowl. I think Eric's gone from there.
I think they're both employed. Didn't Dimitroff get a job too?
Yeah, I think he got a job.
So Eager's with the Panthers.
So they've been hired into the NFL, but this is the same site. They kind of broke off from Pro Football Focus and kind of created their own thing. Well, they have done their first quarter.
They couldn't work with Mosier.
Right. They have done their first quarter all-pro teams.
Surprised they didn't force him out of the entire sport.
PFF couldn't work with Mosier either, though. So.
And I was like, all right, well, how many Cowboys are on here? And first one right off the bat, first team all-pro quarterback is Dak Prescott.
First team all-pro?
First team all-pro quarterback is Dak. Second team is Josh Allen. Here's the write-up on Dak. After an injury that ended up and down year, he's bounced back, MVP form. He's been asked to do everything to keep their team even remotely competitive. He's logged premium starter Sumer score or better in every game he has played, including a Pro Bowl level and all-pro level performance in weeks 2 and 4. As a result, the offense is 6th in expected points added per play, despite losing CeeDee Lamb.
We're probably too close to it, but if you had asked in one of your patented overreactions or not, Dak Prescott is the MVP, I would have said not an overreaction. Right now, here today, I would have said, all right, what are Lamar's numbers? What are Daniel Jones' numbers? But with the way Dak has been playing, okay, that's not crazy to me.
No.
FTN, which is the split off from what used to be Football Outsiders. They had done yesterday, they went and did adjusted EPA. So it's adjusted for pass protection, receiver drops, dropped interceptions, fumble recoveries, interception returns, all that different stuff. And then they adjust your expected points added and say, all right, this is what you should get if other guys are doing their jobs. And the number one player in the league by a mile is Dak at quarterback. If you look at it, it's in terms of what it is, he's listed at 100. The next closest is Darnold at 93. Then it drops to Josh Allen at 77, Jordan Love at 77.
He's 66-1 to win MVP right now.
Go for it. Just $10. First team all-pro running back is Kyron Williams. Second team is James Cook. Wide receiver.
First team running back is Kyron Williams?
That's what it says. They got.
Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, they don't have him on here.
I have Kyron Williams, as I said. Jonathan Taylor has been the best running back in football, to me. He's leading the league in yardage at 414, and I think he's got a game less played. Well, he's got a game less played than Kyron. Come on, man. Jonathan Taylor. And he wasn't even second team?
Second team was Cook.
James Cook has been pretty. James Cook is.
Screw you, Bill Barnwell, or Matthew Berry, for having peer pressure me not to draft him again.
Wide receiver, Puka, Amon-Ra, Ricky Pearsall is first team. Second team, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Emeka Egbuka.
God bless you.
Emeka Egbuka.
And George Pickens.
Ooh.
Pickens has stepped up, given the Cowboys' top receivers gone down, ranks 5th per snap, receiving Sumer score, despite being well in the 30s in target share. It'll be interesting to find out whether he can maintain that efficiency as his opportunity inevitably increases.
That right there might be analytics run amok a little bit. George Pickens was really, really good last week. The first 3 weeks, I think most people would agree that Pickens had not been taking advantage of what he should have.
Nobody from the offensive line, first or second team.
Choppy just Eberflused you. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
You want to play more, man?
Repeat back to me what I said to you.
He knows.
I'm just kidding.
Analytics run amok.
Yes, there you
go. Edge defender, first team, Myles Garrett.
Did you say tight end?
I did not say tight end. Tyler Warren of Indianapolis and Trey McBride.
Boy, how silly are you, Ben Johnson? You passed on Tyler Warren, went and drafted the other tight end first.
Loveland, that's right. Edge defender, first team. There's two of them. One is Myles Garrett. Two, Micah Parsons. Surprise, the two highest paid non-quarterbacks snagged the first team spots. Parsons has been unleashed as a super pass rush specialist while battling back issues.
I like to look at his numbers compared to Crosby. Crosby was a menace at least last week.
He has not had one, but two rare defensive of the year. It's got to be defensive player of the year. They had one, but two rare defensive player of the year level performances and pass rushing Sumer score, along with an all-pro level game and a quality start. Miles ahead of the next best pass rusher.
All right.